Welcome everybody to this video. In this video we are going to be showing you how to run through the range. Now what we're going to do first is we're going to run through the rules of the range. The rules of the range are as such. Number one, no cell phones. Okay, you got to keep yourselves focused. Focus on what you're doing, not distracted by your cell phones. Do not exceed 8 miles an hour. That's rule number 2. Rule number 3, do not change the radio station from 89.9. That's how we're going to communicate to you from the tower to let you know what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. And along those lines, do not turn the volume up too high. It's just a little bit crazy. Don't do that. Do not enter a drill if it is occupied. In other words, if somebody's in the drill, don't go in until they leave. That's rule number 5. Rule number 6, if you hit something, stop, let us know, tell us what happened, okay? You're not going to get in trouble. You're not going to get kicked off the range. You'll still be able to get your license, everything like that. Just make sure that we know that something has happened with the cars if and when they happen. And those are the rules of the range. Alrighty, everybody. This is one of the Hondas that you're going to be using out on the range. It is a slightly newer model. It's a little bit more fun to drive. Anyway, what we're going to demonstrate here is first how to turn on the headlights. So the left turn signal lever, you just twist the tip of it all the way forward to turn them on, all the way back to turn it off. To do the radio, remember the radio has to be on 89.9. Just turn it on. Here is your defrost buttons. So you'll notice this is the front defrost button. The rear is right next to it. Mr. Bird is now adjusting the temperature and the fans. And this is one of the older Toyotas we use out on the range. Same thing to turn your headlights on. Just go ahead and twist the tip of the turn signal lever forward. Now, if you accidentally bump it forward like that, and you see this blue light in your gauges, that means your bright lights are on. You want to turn them off. You don't want your brights on when you're out in the range. That's how you turn them off. Just pull it back toward you. Now, here's one thing. When you're leaving the car at the end of the night, if you hear this sound,
What's that noise?
that means your lights are still on. You need to turn your headlights off before you exit the car. Just twist the tip of it all the way back just like that. You're good to go. Okay, the radio. Same thing, 89.9, turn the power on, make sure your volume isn't too high. That button right there is your rear defrost. You'll want to know that one. Turn this lever all the way to the right. Then that is your front defrost, your front windshield. That's the fan speed and the temp. And another thing you're going to need to know, that is the windshield wiper. If you push it up once, it goes once. If you push it in a down position, it'll go constantly. And if you want to clean your windshield, just pull it back toward you and you will spray your windshield and you're good to go. Now here's another thing that we see often. The key won't turn. So all you have to do is just jiggle the wheel and the car will start. Okay, drill 1, the serpentine and straight line backing drill. So first thing you're going to do is the straight line backing portion of the drill. So pull straight forward to just about the tower there, and then you're going to back up in a straight line. Now notice Mr. Roberts' body position as he's backing. He's got his whole body turned, shoulders are turned, he's looking through the back window. That's on your test day when we're grading you, that's what we're going to be looking for. Okay, now after you straight line back, what you're going to do is you're going to just serpentine forward through the pylons. So notice Mr. Roberts, he's staying as close as he can to each pylon as he goes around. Alrighty, now when you reach the end of the drill, what you're going to do is just what Mr. Roberts does here. You are going to serpentine backwards now. Now once again, notice his body position as he's backing up. He's looking over his right shoulder, looking through the back windshield. That's perfect. And also notice how he's not getting horribly far away from the cones. Well, that one he kind of did. But when he comes around to this one, you want to try to stay as close as you can when you're backing up to the cones. That one was perfect right there. What that'll do is that'll keep you facing the direction you want to go. If you feel like your car is getting a little bit too parallel in the drill, that's fine. Go ahead and stop. And you can do this in any drill, honestly. Go ahead and stop, pull your car forward, get it back into position so that way you feel like you're headed in the direction you want to go, and then go ahead and proceed with the drill. Now at the end of drill 1, after you've serpentined backwards, what you do is you keep going until time was called. So you go ahead and do the straight line backing again, forward serpentine, backward serpentine, until you're told to either switch drivers or switch drills. Okay, now going from drill 1 to drill 2, very easy. Just pull around here in front of the tennis courts. Now remember, these are all uphill, downhill parkings, both with and without a curb. This one is parking downhill with a curb. Now what you're going to do is you're going to turn your wheel right, as you see Mr. Roberts do there. Put the car in park and set your emergency brake. You always want to set your e-brake when you're parking on a hill. Now, make note, see the car there? You notice that Mr. Roberts is signaling left as he leaves his parking place. You want to do that. Signal left, give it a little head check to the left also, make sure no cars are coming up the road. Now the second parking scenario is right over here in the southeast corner of the range. That is downhill parking without a curb this time. You notice Mr. Roberts turns his wheel to the right, puts a car in park, sets his e-brake, and he goes. Signaling left, a little head check to the left, and then he leaves his parking. Now, it makes sense to signal and head check when you leave your parking, so wouldn't it also make sense to signal right and head check right when you're pulling over to park? So right there, you can't really see it, but Mr. Roberts, he was signaling right, he gave it a little head check to the right. Now he's parking uphill this time, but without a curb. So this, same as the other ones, you're going to turn your wheel right, put the car in park, set the e-brake, signal left, head check left before you leave the parking, and go. The last parking scenario you're going to have is uphill parking with a curb this time. So signal and head check over toward the curb, signal right, head check right, and then this time when you park, you're going to turn your wheel left. This is the only one where you go left. So downhill with a curb right, downhill without a curb, turn your wheel right, uphill without a curb, turn your wheel right, downhill with a curb, turn your wheel left. Okay, now you see how we proceed here, going to come to a complete stop, and then what you're going to do is make a U-turn, just following those arrows there. You see the arrows on the ground, follow the arrows. Sometimes there'll be a cone in the middle of the U-turn, sometimes there won't. Great. Now from here, you're going to take a quick right, and then you will head on to drill 3. Okay, now when you enter drill 3, what you're going to do is you're going to enter from the south side of the drill, in other words, the tennis court side, and you're going to go into the drill, and the first thing you're going to do is you're going to pull straight forward to the cone that's directly in front of you. Now from here you have a choice. You can either back up to the cone to the right side of the drill, or you can back up to the cone to the left side of the drill. We decide to go to the right side of the drill this time. Now the idea when you're backing up, what you're going to try to do is put the cone right in the middle of the car. Notice how Mr. Roberts is backing up here. Boom. Cone's right in the middle of the car. That's perfect. From there, you're going to pull straight forward to the cone that's opposite you in the drill. Once again, try to keep the middle of the car centered with the cone. And then you're going to back up to the entrance. Okay? And then what you're going to do is you're just going to repeat that. Pull forward to the cone that's on the north end of the drill. Now, because Mr. Roberts went to the right side of the drill on the last time, this time he's going to go left. Okay? So you wanna try to spice it up a little bit. Try to keep things interesting when you're in drill 3. First time go right, second time go left. Third time, go right. And then if there is a fourth time, if there's enough time for that, heck, go left. Why not? Because that makes it fun and interesting. Now, when you're leaving drill 3 and you're going to go to drill 4, do not, how can I put this? Don't turn around just randomly, crossing over the cone or crossing over the lines, knocking over the cones, all that stuff. When time is called and you have to, wherever you are in drill 3, just figure out a way to maneuver the car inside the drill so you can turn around and head out toward the tennis courts. So now this is a decent example, just backed in like that. And then now we're going to leave drill 3 and head over to drill 4. Now drill 4 is directly across from drill 3. All you're going to do is just go straight forward, make sure nobody's coming across the path there. And this drill is the intersection U-turn. Now, a couple things you want to do with the intersection U-turn. Notice the car is signaling left, and he's staying as close to the center cone as he can. What you guys don't want to do is swing it wide. Don't get far away from that cone that's in the center of the drill. Stay as close to it as you can. And then when you're making your U-turn, notice how Mr. Roberts stopped at the first corner he crossed there, and then he kind of looked around, and then he came to a complete stop here. And when you stop at the second corner, what you're going to do is signal to the right. You couldn't really see that in the video. You can there. And you want to give it a little head check to the left, make sure nobody's coming up the road. Now, every time you leave drill 4, you're going to make a right-hand turn. Do not turn left. It makes it awkward. Turn right every time. And then Roberts is going to make another right-hand turn here, and then another right-hand turn to re-enter the drill, this time from a different angle, but he's going to do the exact same thing. So as he approaches the intersection, he's going to signal left, stay as close to that center cone as possible, start his U-turn just a little bit past the cone, crossing the first corner here, kind of pause, look around. Notice how he didn't come to a complete stop. But when you come to the second corner, that's where you're going to come to the complete stop. Complete stop, signal right, head check left. There it was. You saw the brim of his hat poke out the window there. And then proceed on. Okay, and that is drill 4, the intersection U-turn. Now going from drill 4 to drill 5 is parking. It's the 45-degree park, 90-degree park, and parallel park. First one you're going to do, if you can, is the 45-degree park. Notice how Mr. Roberts, he's keeping the car a little bit wide. He's not really too horribly close to the cones until right then when he entered the parking stall. But yeah, so he went into the parking stall. Everybody go and open up your doors, make sure you're in the lines. Now, 2 things you want to do before you back up. You want to honk your horn. Okay, that announces to the other drivers on the range that you are backing up and that they need to look out for you. Now, it's okay when you're backing up out of the 45 and the 90-degree park to cross the center line. We won't mark you down for that, nor will you get marked down by anybody for that. Sometimes you just kind of have to. Now we're going to go from the 45 to the 90-degree park. Notice once again how Mr. Roberts is hugging that center line. He's as far left as he can because the wider you are when you're parking, the easier it is. Okay, and then he's going to go ahead and take it on in. Notice how there's a little cone there. Oh, it's a little bit in the way. Let's just move it there. There you go. Boom. Now, you guys don't want to do that, but Mr. Roberts can. He's an experienced driver. He knew that moving that cone was a possibility with the front bumper of his car. Okay, so once again, he's going to honk twice before he backs up. Now, notice how he's backing up really, really far, and he's not really going to turn his wheel. See, it's kind of a little bit straight until after he passes that cone. And he went way past the center line, perfectly fine to do when you're backing out of the 90-degree park. Okay, now he's going to move on to the parallel park. This one's lots of fun, and you guys, you're going to see this on your road test, so practice it out here and get good with it. First thing you want to do when you're parallel parking, you want to signal over to the right, just like in drill 2, parking, signaling to the right, signal right. Now, what Roberts is going to do from here, he's going to turn his wheel hard right, and he's going to hold it until he's at about a 45-degree angle. Boom, 45 degrees, and now he's going to just kind of roll his wheel back to the left. Notice also that he didn't stop. That was one solid, continuous motion. That is great. That's what you want to do. And then when you finish the drill, notice how the car is right in the middle of the parallel parking area. That's another thing we're going to be looking for. Now, when you leave the parallel park, you want to signal left, head check to the left, just the way you did on drill 2, and proceed on in the drill. So what you would do if time hasn't been called yet or had not been called, all you do is you just go all the way around the range and then go back to the 45-degree park and do that again and just keep doing the parking until time is called. But from here, what we're going to do is we're going to move into drill 6. And drill 6 is the Z backing drill. As you enter the drill, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to pull forward directly to the cone that's on the other side of the drill. Great. Now, when you back up, you're going to back up to the cone that's behind you. So it's just a little bit offset. Another name for this drill is offset backing. So it's offset to the right. You're going to back up to that cone. Just like in drill 3, try to keep the cone smack dab in the middle of the back bumper there. And then from there, what you're going to do is you're going to pull forward to the exit. Okay. Now you're going to be able to get that drill done before time is called, before you're asked to switch drivers or switch drills. So what you're going to do from here is you're just going to back up to the entrance of the drill. And repeat. Once again, like I mentioned in drill 1, if you feel like your car is getting a little bit out of position when you're backing up, go ahead and stop, pull forward, get your car back into position, back the way you want it, and then continue the drill. Okay, now when you're leaving drill 6, you want to turn left. Always turn left out of drill 6. You can't turn right. It's too tight a turn, and it just gets a little crazy. And also, by turning left into drill 6, you're going to be going into drill 7, which is around the range with a lane change. Now, you guys be careful on this one. I get it. This one can get a little bit boring because all you're doing is you're just going round and round in circles, making one lane change. This is where we see a lot of students, and also in drill 2, when you guys get going a little bit fast, a little bit quick, and you exceed the 8-mile-an-hour speed limit. So really be cognizant of what you're doing. Look down, watch your speedometer, make sure you're not going over 8 miles an hour because we can catch you. We have radar guns in our brains, and we can tell if you're going even 2 miles an hour over. Okay, so as you approach the east side of the drill here, this is where you're going to do your lane change. Now, as you approach your lane change, first thing you want to do is you want to signal, because according to the handbook, you want to signal for 2 seconds before you do anything. So we're going to signal right about now. Beautiful. Give it a little head check after having checked our mirrors, and then proceed in the lane change just the way you see the arrow tells you to do. From there, you're going to make a left-hand turn, and then you're just going to go around and do it again. Now, we'll just go, for the sake of time, we'll just imagine that we went all the way around the range, and now it is our turn to go to drill 8. So you're going to come up. Do not do the lane change. You're going to come up and pull up into the middle stop sign there, or the middle stop line, and then you'll just proceed forward following the dotted lines and to drill 8. Now, the first thing you're going to do in drill 8 is you're going to figure 8 forward. So you just go all the way around everything in a forwardly driving motion. After you finish that, what you're going to do is you are going to, and this, I like watching this drill because it's really cute watching you guys try to maneuver the car backwards like this. Some of you can do it. Some of you are, it's a lot of fun watching. But what you're going to do is you're going to back up in a figure eight motion. Now you're probably wondering to yourself, when are you ever going to do this out in the real world? When you're driving through a neighborhood, how many cars have you seen? And you're running through the scenarios in your head right now. I can tell. How many times have you seen a car figure eight backward motioning in real life? Honestly, never. You're probably never going to see it. If you do, you should probably call the cops, get somebody over there to take care of that person because that person's a little bit insane. But what this does for you, this helps you to be able to maneuver the car and manipulate the car in a way that it'll drive for you how you want it to drive. So all these drills, backward serpentining, you're probably never going to do. But it helps you get a feel of how to maneuver a car and how to drive, really. Okay, now when you leave drill 8, you're going to be making a right-hand turn out of the drill, come up to this stop line here, then you're going to make another right-hand turn, and then you're just going to go straight over to drill number 1. It's a quick, easy little drive. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. And then you'll go into drill 1 and continue on with the range until time is called. So I hope you guys enjoyed this range demonstration. If you have any questions, feel free to email us. Yes, good luck, and